generally the hat trick is like.
Yeah,
and you decided like, no, that's not enough. I'm gonna do one more.
One more. Grab
Where is that ball? I wanna know where is that ball.
Did you sign it? Did you frame it?
Signed it, framed it, kept it.
I didn't realize that time. I dropped the ball.
Quite literally. Welcome to yet another episode of the All Rounders Podcast. With myself, Pila Sanesikaba, and of course, Nono Pongolo. And we've got a very special guest today, not only because he's an icon in South African football, but also he possesses one of the best celebrations in the country. But also, he has one of the most unique nicknames of all footballers. There's been Abia, Sol Provider, Nale, Leslie, Slow Poison, Manyatela, but none as unique as Bernard DeWant Parker. Yes. Bernard, wait, I actually need to read out your CV because you've been around. You've been around.
It's a long list.
It's a long list. Started another graduate of the Transnet School of Excellence.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Correct. Ne?
Correct. Yes.
Then Mamelodi Sundowns Juniors.
Yeah.
And then Red Star Belgrade.
Benoni Premier United.
Benoni Premier United.
Tanda
Royal Zulu.
Then Red Star.
Red Star Belgrade.
Yes.
FC Twente.
Yeah.
There was a Greek club that you also played for.
Yes, FC Pantsaraikos.
Pantsaraikos. I wanted him to say it. I wasn't going to say it. Pantsaraikos, Kaiser Chiefs.
Yeah.
And now TS Galaxy.
Yep.
I've got them all, ne?
You've got them all.
That's a lot.
Not as other players who has jumped from club to club to club. You know, with me, it is a lot, meaning that I've had a long career.
Yes.
As well. But Parker's loyal.
Bernard is loyal, guys.
He's loyal.
Yeah.
I've been a servant. Yeah.
Bernard, before we start, like from where it all started, I mean, I know you're a Boksburg-born player.
A boy,
yes. But I want to start off like with some of the happenings that are happening right now in terms of international football, local football. The Euros are on. Have you watched any of that?
No, I've been following the Euros.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're a footballer, if you're not following the Euros, then what you're doing in football, you know. I've been following the Euros, interesting matches. Yeah. Now it shows the gap between countries, you know, whether it's the big countries, whether it's the small countries. But right now, the gap is so small between the big and the small countries. And a lot of surprises as well. Yes. It shows you what, if you believe you can achieve. Yeah. So it's been very interesting Euros.
Yeah. Georgia scored first against Spain this night. Yeah, that was
good was
that was really good. Right? That was
really
good.
That was a fast game.
Yeah.
Top. Yeah. Fast, top. You know, the difference that sets them apart is just the quality.
Yeah.
So that's the name of the game. The quality of the players are the game deciders. Yes. And if the quality of the player is not in the right mood or in the right mind, you know, deciding games won't come so much. You know, you've seen with the England game as well with Slovakia. So
I think we should all bring our pillows next to our TV when we watch the team because it's
not as fast as the other teams.
But how do you have the talent but not be able to like find solutions when you have such a talented group? You know, like, is that something that's common? Is that a coaching thing? Is that a players thing? Maybe so many talented players. How does that happen where literally 1 to how many players, whatever it's in the squad, they're all like quality players? How does that happen?
Yeah, at the Euro now, currently England has got the best talent, especially in the attack. And they play for the biggest teams in the world.
Best
you
league.
know,
the
best league. And just a month ago, they were top. A month ago, they were top. You know, especially Manchester City and Arsenal that were going head to head under so much pressure. And then a month later, those very same players are not at that level.
Jude won the Champions League
but Jude,
2 weeks before that.
2 weeks before that. But Jude can't be the only one who's now carrying England. You know,
100%.
the other guys has to come to the party. And this is just a beautiful game, you know, the beautiful game. The other teams plan, and other teams plan as well. So it's just on the day, you know.
It looks like individual versus team structure.
Yes.
I mean, when you look at Spain, it looks like it's properly structured. I mean, those wingers. The Williams boy.
Fernando Torres, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Spain's got so much mobility in their team that helps because they do a lot of off the ball work, and it helps for them. But in England, they don't do so much off the ball work, you know, which is a disadvantage to them. So I hope they got a wake up call. And then let's see, because we want to have the big countries, you know, in the tournament for as long as possible, they can, as possible, so that we can keep that quality of football.
My fingers were itchy yesterday. I was about to say, it's coming, before Bellingham goal last night. I wanted, you know, they've only won, they've only ever won the World Cup. But sometimes when they speak,
it's
you
like
swear,
the custodians of
because you think about it, like, you know, I know we don't usually, our feed with football usually comes from the UK, and we don't get to hear the Spanish and the other nations kind of in terms of the way they talk about football. But sometimes when I hear the English, it's almost like we are guaranteed to win this thing. When you're like, just hang on a bit. Yes, you've got good league, good players, but it doesn't mean you've earned the right to kind of claim that you're favorites, because France should be favorites, Spain should be favorites,
Portugal as well.
Portugal.
No, he's still carrying the team. Do you follow any cricket? We've had a reason I asked because we've had footballers here who've played cricket before.
I think
has been on it. Lala K, he's been in and out of between the two sporting codes.
Sure.
How about Dion?
They want.
If you have to think about it.
I followed cricket, you know, in the era of Hansi Cornea, you know. I was Sean Pollock, you know, and I was a wicket keeper at school.
Okay.
At school, and after primary school, and after primary school, I didn't follow cricket that much, but then I do keep myself updated in terms of what's happening. And what happened in the past couple of years, we haven't had one of the best years in terms of national cricket. And what a way now for us to show what progress we have made, you know, by reaching the finals. Unfortunately, we didn't get over the line.
And it was right there. That line was there.
Right there, yeah. So it was just that little bit. We were 10% more. I think we should have get over the line and claim what we do best, and claim what we have been.
We also like England now in football, where we say we've got the best talent, but we can't win it.
We can't win it. So so you know, it's but at least we've shown that we've made a lot of progress. It's just for us to build on this now and hopefully get back to number one where we belong.
I have a quick question in regards to that. I mean, I also played a lot of sports growing up, and the kind of I played soccer, everything, and the only reason cricket won for me, because of traveling, and you know, coming from the hood, the cars, the fact that I can go there and there, I was like, this is the sport, because it's giving me access to things that I couldn't do. For you, what made football be the choice that you make when you said you started with cricket, you're a wicket keeper? Why was football kind of the avenue that you chose?
Actually, football. Thanks, Nana. Football was my mom and the teacher saw the talent in me before I could realize how much of talent that I am in football, because I played all the sports. I played cricket, I did swimming, I had my swimming, yes, I had my regional Eastern Gauteng colours in swimming. I did athletics as well. You know, I also had my regional colours in athletics as well in Eastern Gauteng.
What distance on?
1,200 meter specialist.
Nothing shorter than that.
Sometimes shorter than that. You're 800, you're 400, but I didn't become the number one, you know. But then when my teacher saw the trials that came up for School of Excellence, because I was the the main boy in soccer. So then when he saw the trials that came up, and then he took me for trials, and the rest is history. You know.
People speak about the School of Excellence, and I mean we've had previous graduates from there as well, and they say it was like the breeding ground. You guys got taught a lot of discipline, how to conduct yourselves professionally at the School of Excellence. Was it something that you also got from there? I mean, you've had a very long career. You're 38 now, and you're still playing. That speaks to the longevity and obviously the discipline that is required to become a professional sportsman. Did you get that foundation in discipline at the School of Excellence?
Definitely, yes. You know, I keep saying that if my mom didn't make that decision for me to go to the school, I don't think I would have been where I am today. You know, I thank her every day for making that decision, and she stuck by that decision, even though I wanted to come home. She said, "No, you're not coming home. You know, you have to go stick through those tough times." And the good thing about the school was, you know, every year when a group comes in, another group goes out, and they go out to good academies. They go to the IX, to the Sundowns, you know, to the Super Sports and to the Wits. So that was the main goal for us. Looking at that, I also want to leave the school to a top team or to a top academy. So that motivation kept us working hard. It kept us sticking to the core values that the school has embedded us, you know, the core values of humility, respect, accountability, and the blah 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 stuff. So with those core values that the school has instilled in us, and some of us who didn't make it to the professional, you know, we still keep in touch. You know, they are bank managers. You know, they are running good firms. You know, so I take my head off for the school for what they have instilled in us, because it makes most of us better, upstanding men in our community, in our environment, in our society. So the school really is playing a big role in any boy child's life, I would say.
Just to follow up on that, does it pain you to see the state of the School of Excellence now? I mean, there's been plenty of reports about it, you know, possibly closing down, and there's you know, the administration of it is not what it used to be when you were still there. Does it pain you to read all about that, knowing where and how the school contributed to your career?
You know, it pains us and also saddens us at the same time as well, because the school has produced so many top players, and if we could have had more branches like that across the country, you know, maybe even across borders as well, I think we would have produced the best players in world football. In world football, I would say, you know, the toppest level. But now, what's happening right now, you know, I don't even have that feeling anymore to go and visit the school, because coming there and seeing the boys, you know, it really pains us. But I hope that we do get somebody that can save the school, because I've been reading up, I've been following up as well. You know, I've been making research on the school as well. The school has got 28 staff members, you know, 6 coaches, 12 educating staff. 8 educating staff, 12 supporting staff. But it's not enough. It's not enough. It's less staff for about 100 plus boys, you know, so the boys don't get full attention as well. The fields are not up to standard, you know, the dormitories are not upkept, the paint is peeling. So it's not a nice way to develop a child in such an environment, knowing that if the standards were right, you know, the percentage of developing players would be higher. But now, when the standards are not upkept, you know, percentage of getting the best out of the players are less. So it really saddens us as the country, and I hope we can get saved. We hope from somewhere.
We've got a new minister now.
We've got a new minister.
We've got a new minister.
Minister Caton, if you're watching, please. Mohammed to the School of Excellence.
Sure.
I actually have an interesting one. When Lyle sat here, he said exactly the same thing that you said. I also wanted to go home.
Yeah.
Dane Clayton sat here and he said exactly the same thing. I also wanted to go home. And his mom also did exactly the same thing that your mom did.
Yeah.
What is it about that environment that three of you all had amazing careers?
Yeah.
And yet, at some stage,
You were like, nah.
this is not for me. It's very interesting because, I mean, you're here today having played so many games around the world and obviously done really well at domestic level. But what is it about those moments that kind of like you're doubting yourself? Is it hard or what was it? Is it challenging?
It
What
hard.
exactly?
It was hard. It was tough. It was hard and tough. You know what boarding school like? You know us as boys, we tease each other. You know, we in boarding school there's the tough times in boarding school never last. It's what builds us. You know, it's what build the character. Us, and you know, those hardships, you know, really build us. And this is what any boy child or girl child has to go through, because those tough times and those sacrifices that you have to make will really pay off for you in the future. But you know, that's what I'm saying, with a lot of discipline that was instilled in us as well. You know, you have to wash your own clothes. You have to be always clean. You know, you have your own ball. Your ball must be clean. When you kick your ball over the fence, you must go fetch your ball. You know, all those type of stuff that were put in like that. You know, you could not run away from it. Even though you didn't like it, and we said, no, I want to go home or stuff like that. You know, the screws were so tightened that we had to get stuck by those things. And some of us, we didn't like it.
Look, I understand.
We didn't like it.
I understand Dane. I understand Lyle. I mean, they came out from outside of the province. You were from Boksburg. Why didn't you just stay at home?
Hey, you know, even when you stand on the roof of the school, I could see your home. I could not reach it. I could not go home, and I could not reach it. But when with some of the local boys that go home when we had free weekends, once a month, sometimes once in 2 months, they would go home. And it's so sad to see their parents come and pick them up, and then they go, and then now you sitting here, and your mom says to you, "I'm not mali takes." "I'm not mali takes." So you rather stay, you know. So I guess the guys who had the strongest mindset, you know, they stuck through it, and really that's I said that build our characters.
Two interesting questions for me. I mean, number one, the nickname, the Hond. Where did it come from?
Of course, Ekas.
And why?
Ekas. You know, it's like Ekas, we would say Winja ball. So in Afrikaans, we say he's the Hond. He's the Hond.
He's the Hondiso.
He's the Hondiso. So that is the nickname I got from my PS Ekasi.
Okay.
And I took it with me right throughout my career.
Okay.
Before you would ask the question about the celebration as well.
Yes.
I also came there from Ekasi.
Okay.
With the celebration, saying, you know, like that time wrestling just came out. Wrestling was like the biggest thing, you know. And the main guy was John Cena. You can't touch me. You know, so we came up with it, and we said, no, I can't be touched. I'm untouchable. Okay. So I'm untouchable. So we came up with the signature, and I took it right throughout my career with me, in, you know, not forgetting where I come from, you know, in telling the guys, you know, if one of us didn't make it, I made it, and I'm representing you all. Yeah,
that's fantastic. That's actually really good. Did it come out in Belgrade in the 20s?
Oh, it came out since Benoni. My debut from Benoni days, right through. Yes, till today. Amazing.
And for me, just quickly, in terms of, I mean, you said you're growing up. Out of the group of friends that you grew up with, is there anyone else that kind of also succeeded with you, or unfortunately is how did that go?
Unfortunately, no one made it in sports. there are 1-2 that we still good friends. You know, one is a personal trainer. At least him loving sports. You can now get to deliver a good service, to making a difference in people's bodies and lives through personal training. And the other one became a taxi boss. He's a taxi boss, you know, and he's doing well for himself as well. And the others, here and there, you know, your normal 9-to-5 jobs and stuff like that. So out of the whole crew, you know, it's just the two at least that made something of their lives.
And I'm kind of interested because, I mean, I'll also reflect on myself and say, like, for example, I came from Ekasi to a private school in Bishops, Cape Town. It's luck. Sometimes it's not really to say I was exceptionally more talented than some of the guys that came with me.
True.
Like, for you, what would you say was that one thing that kind of helped you to still be playing football today, maybe compared to maybe your friends that you had slightly over them, to obviously kind of guided your career to still be here?
The good thing about my friends, that's what I'm saying, that I'm still in contact with them, and I'm still close to them, and I still have those relationships with them. It wasn't so easy, because there was a lot of things happening around in terms of your drugs, your alcohol, and some sorts of stuff. And your immediate heroes was your drug dealers. We had the nicest BMs and the nicest girls, the nicest clothes. So that was the easy way out. And some of my friends, they did follow that easy way out, and they ended up in jail. Some ended up 6 feet under. But the ones who were really close to me, and they said to me, you know, we're not drinking, you're not doing this. We want to see you there. We want to see you somewhere. And I'm glad that they kept me. They kept me on that path, and as well as the adults as well. You know, in the road, that would also, you know, give me that encouragement and said, "No, one day you'll be on TV. One day you'll be on TV." So I also had that in the back of my mind, saying, "No, don't disappoint these people. You know, if I do something, I will be seen," and I didn't want it to be seen. I didn't want to be seen, and I also don't want to hide when I'm doing stuff. If I had to lit a cigarette or something like that. So in the back of my mind, I was just like, you know, I've got the support of my road, of my street. I don't want to disappoint. So I'm just thankful for that kept me focused, and as well as being at the school. With my mom as well encouraging me, also, you know, that kept me focused. So we do come across a lot of temptations, a lot of social stuff that are happening, but I just felt like, you know, let me not disappoint.
I mean, it's a common thread. I mean, we speak about, you know, Dane being here, Lyle being here. They share similar stories to you. I mean, Dane from Galvandale, Lyle Athlone. It's sort of similar communities where there's a lot of, you know, gangsterism, drugs, and all of those things. How important is it for you guys that made it out to be able to say, look, I'm a product of a place where there's this, you know, negative side of it, but because I was able to make it out, you too can also make it. How important is it for you guys to go back into those communities and actually spread the message that I'm Bernard Parker, I'm from Boksburg, I came from here, you can also get out in the same way?
Yeah, definitely. You know, that has really been very, very close to me, to my heart. You know, trying to get the next Bernard Parker out, you know, because football is what I love doing, and it's my strength as well. And it's my strength in inspiring the young players as well. But it's not easy. It's really not easy. The only easy way is if you get the child out of the community. And us who went to the school, we went early out of the community. You know, that helped. That was a plus. That was a plus. So me giving back to the community, you know, I've also took players out of the community. You know, your Donay Jansen, who's at Kaiser Chiefs, he made his debut. You know, I've helped Chandra Campbell, who's at Super Sport. You know, I'm happy for him now. Hopefully, he will get his international transfer before the season, before the transfer window closes.
Yeah.
And I'm also helping other boys as well from my community. I've been a good friend of players who played for Chiefs. A player who played for Chiefs, which is Wayne Matley, who comes from the same area.
Yeah.
But then seeing what he had thrown away, you know, really pains us.
Yeah.
Where you know you could have saved. You could have saved somebody.
Yeah.
So in my mind and in my vision is by giving back to the community is what I do best in trying to save as much boys as I can.
Yeah.
And even though I don't get support, but we always have to find a way and give our best. You can only give your best. And in such communities, there is so much talent. It's so much talent.
Yeah.
Even Soweto as well, you know, great talent. But I would say those how God created this world in a way whereas He gave the biggest talents to the poorest of the poor.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know why is it designed in that kind of way.
Yeah.
And then He gave the brains are given to the people who are okay.
Yeah.
Who are okay at home, and then they just live on and keep the family legacy alive or business alive, you know. But when it comes to talent, I think the percentages are more in where it's tough.
Yeah.
And by saving those talent, you know, it's really a fulfillment for anybody to save their talent and get the best out of their talent. Because in football, hey guys,
it's tough.
In football, it's tough.
Yeah.
Even if you do make it professionally, it's really tough to stay there as well. You know, as I'm saying, now you make it professionally. Those little distractions you had when you were not professionally. Now when you make it professionally, now the distractions are even bigger. On a bigger scale. It's huge. It's huge. So it's important to build that mindset at the early age. So once you come to this level, you know what's what. You've been prepared, you know, to come to this level.
Yeah. There's a study that came out, said South Africans are one of the most athletic people in the world.
Yes.
You've mentioned, and I mean, I'm in cricket, and I can tell you now, South Africa has talent.
Yeah.
But we've been poor in maybe managing this talent, and so that the guys, there's more Kagiso Rabadis at the top, there's more Temba Bavumas at the top, especially from the townships. I mean, according to you, I mean, we had 3 soccer players sitting here and all come from the same kind of school of excellence. What does football need to do to have more players like yourselves? Is it more investing in the youth, in the school of excellence? It's like you said, maybe you can have another one, maybe that's based in Cape Town and different part. What does football need to do? Because we do have, I mean, you go to a guy, say around Easter Fest, you see all these tournaments, you know, but like, why is it not reaching the top and South Africa like punching at
Spain's level,
the top nations in the world? Because I mean, in Africa, infrastructure, South Africa has all the infrastructure.
South Africa is one of the best infrastructure on the continent, and South Africa has got one of the best diverse culture and also international people here in South Africa coming to be South African and you know, and to be part of us, you know. So those mixed breed, I would say, of blood.
It's like the world coming here.
The world coming here mixed with the blood, you know. It's just something else, you know. I've been on the ground level and I see the talent is just crazy all across the country in every corner as well. And we do not make use of it. We not to make best use of it. And the only method that got the best use and the best made of it is the school. To be honest, is the school. Because even today, people at the highest level, they still talk about the School of Excellence. You know, the School of Excellence just recently, the recent project from the School of Excellence is Mufukeng. And look what Mufukeng is doing, you know, at this level. And he's only a teenager. So guys, still today, even at the state where the school is in today,
you
still get 1, 2 gems out there. So that is the key. So why don't we take that, replicate it, spread it across the country, you know, replicate, spread it across. There's money in this country. There's a lot of money in this country. You know, there's a lot of money. There is a lot of corporates that also wants to invest in football. Football is the largest community in this country, across the world. Guys, we need top players in top European clubs. Your top of Manchester Cities, your Spanish clubs of Barcelona's. We need top players. And it's shown before. We had top players in the likes of Steven Pienaar, who comes from the school, who's there. You know, you can mention a lot others who's been at the highest level. You know, Ninja Mufukeng. You know, guys who's been at the highest level coming from the school. If we can produce more, we will have more players at the highest level. And we have more players at the highest level. What happens to our Bafana? We raise the bar. You know, we can get to being Africa's number 1, but we do not. That's why other countries got Africa number 1, because their players are Africa number 1, because their players are in the top leagues in Europe.
Especially the French nation, the French countries in Africa, where a lot of their players are
going to Europe,
going to specifically France, France, and they get that early development in France.
In France, exactly. England now as well. You see with the likes of Rashford, you know, Mainu, you know, the likes of these young talent who are now English national players. You know, they've got African roots. You know, so we got so much talent, but I don't think we're doing the right thing. If we can do the right thing in the best of the sport, I think we can get South Africa back on the map where it belongs. And also when it comes to Olympics, we can also up our medal numbers as well. You know, we've got top talent here. We've shown in the past. We had a world champion boxer. We had a world champion long distance runners. We've got long jump. We've got world champions who have shown there, you know. So if we do have what it takes, why don't we invest more in that and produce more and more and more? So I hope maybe we would get to channel the finance in that kind of way, because in development really the youth is the future. So let's invest in the youth. So hopefully we do get what we deserve as a sporting nation.
Who were Dion's role models growing up? Right? when you made the decision, look, I'm going to be a footballer, I'm going to go to the School of Excellence, I'm going to make something out of this. Who did you look up to?
I looked up to Benni McCarthy.
The 17 jersey, okay.
I was thinking about that. Okay. Number 17.
Yeah, no, give him a one. No, specifically because of the 98. Is 98 Burkina Faso?
In the 18 area.
Yes, Burkina Faso 98, where he scored 4 goals.
Yes.
That made me realize that, you know, anything is possible, because he also comes from a very poor environment, and where there was no hope, but he made it at the highest level, you know. So that was just inspiration for me, and I could relate myself with him as well, you know. Maybe because of the looks as well.
What do you mean?
Benny's gonna love it. Benny's gonna love it.
People are still today, especially our mama. When they look at me, our mama like, hey, Mtanam, you look like McCarthy. And so in Ekas also they would say, you know, I look like McCarthy as well. Let me tell you a story as well. You know, my dad left us, and then I would see him in the road all the time, you know, and then I would try and get close to him or greet him, and he would like he would make an excuse, you know. So then at that time, Pirates was hot, you know. They won the CAF, the CAF Champions League, 95. So Pirates was hot, and then I said to my mom, I said, Mommy, is dad really my dad? Because sometimes he doesn't want to greet me, sometimes he doesn't want to have attention. Is dad really my dad?
Yeah.
And that day Pirates was playing,
Yeah.
and mom couldn't answer me, and then she just looked up to the TV and just, you know what, Jerry is your father, Jerry's Costanza.
The legs of Panda.
I really don't get it why she would say that. Maybe because I was the soccer player, and that just came to her mind. And says, no, Jerry is your father. So maybe I was meant to be a striker. So through the years, Benny's been a great friend till today, and when I got to Bafana, I said I want to play alongside him and play with him at Bafana. And then when I got the chance to play with him, to play alongside him in Bafana, we went to Brazil, to Sao Paulo, to play Brazil in the international friendly. It was the build up to the World Cup. And Benny said to me, when we got into the change room, and the kit manager was dishing out the jerseys, and Benny said to me, no, you take this one. I said, no. I'm a shy guy. Like, no, I'm like, and it's, no, take it, I'm giving it to you, take it. I said, no, what number you will take, because mine is a size small. He says, no, don't worry. And then I wore this big jersey.
Was this your debut?
No, it wasn't my debut. It wasn't my debut, but it was the first time.
That you played with Benny.
I played with him. And
I don't even want to ask what size.
So then I was just so excited. I took the jersey, I played with it, and I had to tuck it in. So it doesn't do the flapping,
The old Peter Shalini tucking.
And it motivated me. It motivated me top. I had a good game. Overall, we had a good game, and we drew. We drew against Brazil in Brazil under leadership of Gordon Egerson at that time, and we had such a good game where we got applauded by the Brazilian fans, because it's not easy to come into Brazil, and play a draw, so. That was one of the highlights of my journey, and then again build up to the World Cup, to the FIFA Confederations Cup,
2009.
And then Benny said to me, I want to share a room with him. So then we shared a room. We were roommates, and he doesn't talk much.
No,
he doesn't talk much in person, although he's very vocal.
Touchline,
he's very, very vocal. But in person, he doesn't talk much. And now I'm sitting in the room, and it's cold. The aircon is on. High.
Europe,
Baba. So I go to the closet. I get an extra blanket. Extra blanket on. I'm watching TV. So the news is on. CNN is on. And I'm thinking, must I take the remote? The remote is right next to him there. I'm thinking, must I take the remote or what? So I'm watching the news. He's on his laptop. He's on his laptop. That time it wasn't your social media. Where you could do your WhatsApp calls and stuff. So he was on his laptop, Skyping his family, speaking Spanish. And I'm like, hey, can I take this remote or what? And it's cold. I just ended up sleeping. Having early night, sleeping 6 to 6. So.
Discipline.
Discipline, Baba. So then I reached my dream. I achieved my dream. I would say, by being inspired by Benni McCarthy and then getting to play alongside him and sharing a room with him. It's just so amazing.
Don't you guys have similar? There's a record he scored. You said he scored 4. You also scored 4 in one game.
But it was in one game. Yeah. I also scored 4 in one game. Yes. We stars aligned. But then he scored 4 for the national team, and I scored 4 for Kaizer Chiefs against Amazulu.
Yes.
And no other Kaizer Chiefs player scored 4 goals. I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know.
We'll have to check that.
We'll have to check.
Yes,
we'll have to check. So
scoring 4 in one game. I mean, generally the hat trick is like.
Yeah,
and you decided like, no, that's not enough. I'm gonna do one more.
One more.
How is that feeling? Yeah. 4 goals in one game.
That feeling is just out of this world.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't describe that feeling. Firstly, when I scored the hat trick, and you know, something came over me and said, "Yeah, now you."
One more.
Yeah, Winja. The old. Now you are the top dog, Winja. And then that 4th one, I was so confident. You know, the 4th one was a chip. And that chip is one of my best goals I scored for Kaizer Chiefs. That chip just topped it off, and being the 4th one, you know, just made history. You know, by being one of the few players who scored so much goals in a match for Kaizer Chiefs. Really, it's history. So till today, you know, I would still refer back to it. And but to describe that feeling, I just don't have the words to describe that feeling.
Where is that ball? I want to know where is that ball.
Did you sign it? Did you frame it?
Signed it, framed it, kept it.
I didn't realize that time. I dropped the ball.
Quite literally.
I like it.
I'm interested. I mean, you speak about, it's a great segue into your Kaizer Chiefs career. Over 350 appearances. I mean, that's one of the highest in terms of a Kaizer Chiefs player to have, you know, appeared for the club. 2 league titles, Nedbank Cup, MTN 8 in your career at Chiefs.
Makufe Cup as well.
Are we counting it?
No, we don't.
Okay. Over 60 goals, if I'm
64,
not. Yeah, over 60 goals in Kaizer Chiefs colours. Yeah, it's a long time.
It's a long time. It's 10 and a half years.
Yeah.
64 goals that made me the all-time goal scorer for Kaizer Chiefs in the PSL era.
Yeah. Okay.
After so many greats have donned the jersey.
Yeah. Fanny Madida, so many.
Yeah, Fanny Madida. They have been they've been outside the PSL era. Yes, I'm talking about the likes of Besumas, the Nomvetes, you know, Sean Bartlett, you know, a lot of other Torrealbas, a lot of other great players who played for Chiefs and scored goals. You know, I'm proud to say that I'm the top dog. I'm the top dog, and it's not easy to play at that level for over 10 years. It's really not easy to play at that level with so much pressure. And I'm also happy that I got success as well at the club. You know, winning the league, winning cups, also almost winning the Champions League. So that would have been top of the top. You know, and I was the captain. That season, you know, by us reaching the Champions League final as well. That would have been the top of the top as well, but just missed it. Also, what you didn't mention is derbies as well.
Yes,
you know,
lots
over
of
30
them.
derbies.
Yeah,
over 30 derbies are played. So I'm also one of the top gentlemen who played quite a number of derbies as well. So I'm proud to say that, you know, I've played my part at Kaizer Chiefs.
How was it though? Like, I mean, you speak about the pressure of playing for Chiefs. You know, it's a demanding fan base. The club environment itself is demanding of success. You got to keep on winning to really stay at the top as a Kaizer Chiefs, not only as a club but Kaizer Chiefs as players. How was that period where you played for Chiefs?
It was more of a dream come true. Yeah, living your dream.
Yeah,
living your dream. I would say every footballer, you ask them now who you want to play for, they would say Chiefs, Pirates, Unknowns.
Yep.
Immediately.
Yep.
You know, and it's any footballers, South African footballers' dream. Yeah. Even in our immediate borders as well, across borders as well. Just because of how much it means to play for those teams.
Yeah.
And me playing for Kaizer Chiefs, I was like living my dream.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying living my dream by making the best out of it.
Yes.
Even though sometimes things were dry, but I would still give that energy, that effort, you know, that meaning that I have in my game. And it's how can I say, it's just something else. It's just something else. It's just something out of this world where you're now living your dream, you know, something that you've always wanted, you know, that you are now in it. So it's just an unbelievable feeling.
In South Africa, especially, like you said earlier, soccer is #1 in this country, and we all think we are experts of. we think we know what a soccer player should do. I mean, you having to live that dream of knowing Guti. There's so many opinions about your job. How do you remain focused, especially in the times where you're not winning anything, and you know the pressures of Jesus and Pirates and Sundowns. If you're not winning anything, fans believe this guy is not running enough. This guy, you know, like how do you keep hold of that, especially those lean period times where there's no trophy?
Sure. I don't know how I did it, but I just did it. You know, it was all mental. You know, the mental strength really played a big part in me. I would say. Taking on sports management early on in my career, you know, I think the studies helped me. You know, it made me realize and understand my role better. Made me realize and understand what it takes for you to be at the top each and every week. What right mental levels you need to strike as well. And when the chips are down, you know how to behave, or how to
pick yourself back
or
up,
how to pick yourself up as well. I think that helped me, and also being a leader as well, because if I'm down, you know, the rest of the guys will be down as well. So I always have to come up and psych myself up and have a positive image over the group as well. I get to understand that as well, and I get to realize that I always have to be in a good state of mind. I have to be positive. The energy always needed to be there, and also I have to thank the people who also helped me along the way as well. You know, to keep that level as well. So by having such a stick from the public, you know, even when you come to the petrol station as well, having that stick. You know, counting to 10. I picked up a technique, count to 10. You know, just answer them in a respectful manner. Do not retaliate. Do not be emotional. You know, control your emotions. So I always said now to try and put those things into practice. And it helped me. And also at some stage I had to delete social media as well. You know, my Instagram is now on 100 and something thousand. You know, that time my Instagram was on 800,000. So I had to delete Instagram. I had to delete social media in order for me to avoid
that noise.
That noise, or to kill my energy, or to dent my spirit. So I think I did the right thing in that time, in that moment, you know, for me to stay at that level. Because if I didn't do that, I don't think I would have got another year, or another year. So I think I did the right thing, and I hope that a lot of other players, you know, could learn from that, you know, because we're so much focused on physical preparation and tactics and whatever, but the main big power, the weapon, the main weapon is in here, is the mind.
You started in you mentioned earlier pre-social media period. And now it's
this big monster.
TikTok, Instagram, it's Twitter, Facebook going. But like it's so hard to avoid it now. Where back in the day, you probably read about yourself in the newspaper. Now it's
once a week.
You know, exactly. Now you're literally minding your own business, and then someone can comment on your life, and they have that easy access to you. I mean, how hard is that now? I mean, and obviously you clearly found your own method of managing it. For the younger players now, where they grow up that being normal. Is there some sort of a guide for them nowadays? Because I mean, obviously there's a lot of more distractions than how you started your career.
Yes. I just had a conversation with another legend as well, and I said to him, You know, back then there was no social media, there was no nothing.
Yeah.
But I would know every player.
Yeah.
I would know every player, you know. But nowadays there's social media and there's all of it. But you still don't know every player.
Yeah.
Because you tend to have so many access to a lot of things. Then your focus is divided.
Yeah.
You know, your focus is divided. And that message that comes through from anybody in the country or in the world, that comes up to you and it says we are Slisa or Nkomo. You know, that statement just sticks in your mind. When you go and play, it's in your mind. Now you're doubting yourself. You fear, you don't want to make mistakes, you know. Those are the things we need to avoid. So social media gives us a good thingy as well, whereas
you can brand yourself now.
You can set it up in a way where you don't give
see
access.
The comments.
You don't see the comments. You don't give access to request messages. You know, stuff like that. So in a way, you can
streamline.
You can think yourself as well. You know. But you know, us standing, we like attention. as footballers,
you also want that feedback, isn't it? Like, I'm pretty sure when you score 4 goals,
you want to know like, what the people think.
Like, you want people, but at the same time, there's the other side of it.
There's the other side of it as well,
which can be really dark.
And you know, in today's young players, you know, I feel for these young players. I don't blame them. They, especially the MDC players, you know, they playing on TV as well. They famous before they
even make senior professional.
Before they even make professional, they famous already. You know, and that comes to their mind, and that will hurt them in the near future when they turn professional. You know, I have seen it personally. You know, I am with players, where they just go on warm up. It's a young player, he just goes on warm up, and the fans go crazy. He comes in, he plays it, he does his trick. But was he effective? No. Did he make an assist? Did he score? You know? And then the next thing, that same player, he starts because now the fans gave him that, and it also sends a signal to the bench, to the coach as well, to say, hey, Bamtanda, next week I'll play him. Then he plays next week, he doesn't have a good game. Then you see that player now after another month, you know, he automatically goes into a shell. You know, his confidence is dented now. The next thing you see him after a month. So where's the progress? There's no progress. You know, there's no growth. So that as well, I would say, the public can have their opinion, as you said. They can voice whatever they want to voice, but it individually, internally, as a club, as a national team is something else, but as a club, in every club, let's control what we can control. And the outside stuff we cannot control, those external stuff. But do not let the external stuff come inside. So that's what we tend to do a lot. So as me as a young player, I let the external stuff come inside. So now I will come to training, I won't greet, I walk past, or I will just greet but now I don't greet how I used to greet in a respectful manner.
How are you?
Or how are you, you know, or whatever. Then because now people from outside now is telling you, you know, you are the next big thing, you are this, you are that.
Start believing it.
You know, you start believing it. And now you bring it here inside. Now you don't want to pick up cones. Now you don't want to do extra training, you know. Certain things like that we shouldn't allow. Inside, there's a certain standard we need to keep, and we need to obey by those standards. And if you do not, you get fined. You get hit hard by the pocket. Because if you get hit by the pocket, you will realize. You know, you won't be able to put a full tank in your 4-pipe. You think twice to put a full tank in your 4-pipe because you've just been fined, you know, so much. So you think, no, if I always want to keep my 4-pipe clean and my whatever, and have nice clothes, I need to make sure I do the right thing. So having the right thing inside, you know, all the external factors won't affect us as footballers. But when we allow those external factors, it is already
bad environment.
Yes, it already knocks your it already knocks your career in somehow.
Yeah.
It affects your career in somehow.
Yeah. I've got two questions. One, it's obviously related to Kaizer Chiefs and how they can get back to where they were. I mean, you were one of the last batch of players that actually won silverware with Kaizer Chiefs, and it's been well documented how long they haven't won any piece of silverware. What does it take for a club like Kaizer Chiefs to get back to where they are on par with now probably the biggest club in the country, which is Mamelodi Sundowns, that has all this success, and still and continue to compete with their rivals in Orlando Pirates, who've also sort of gotten a bit of a
trophy specialist.
Yeah, you know, they've gone up in terms of how they've been able to win silverware. I mean, the past 2 seasons with the coach there has been really good. What does it take for Kaizer Chiefs to be able to compete with those 2 traditional rivals?
I think firstly, because I was in it as well, and I tried to keep the culture, because clubs are all about culture.
Yeah.
Clubs are all about culture. And when the culture goes out the window, you know, it's very difficult to get that culture back.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very difficult. So when I came in into a culture, and I was taught with the culture, you know, by the likes of Jimmy Tao, you know, the likes of
Kune would have been there by then.
Yeah, Kune was there as well. Sorry, Arthur Bartman.
Yes.
May his soul rest in peace. Yeah. I'm talking about the immediate people that they taught me to say, you know, this is what needs to be done. Just to mention those 2. When I came in, Thomas Sweswe.
Yes.
You know, when I came in, I was told this is the culture. You know, we need to do that. You know, Knowledge Masona and myself. You know, we would pick up the goals, we would pick up cones, we would carry the balls, and we are top goal scorers in the club. You understand? We are top goal scorers. We are the main men, but we needed still to do those things. We
rite
needed
of
to
passage in a way.
you know, and we need to always keep a certain image as well. You know, and also control what needs to be controlled. So with that culture, I was taught with it, and then and I carry that culture, and then when the new group comes in, you know, we keep that culture, you know. Then we got strengthened, you know, the likes of Tepo Masilela, Pakakas, you know, Katsande came along now, and Katsande kept fighting the same fight, you know. Shabalala, who's always been there, you know, also taught me about the culture. So we kept the culture, we kept the culture. And now as the team keeps changing now, over the years, you know, 10 players leaving, a number of players leaving, a number of big group coming in again, you know. You're trying to still keep that culture, you know, and also change of coaches as well. Now coaches now are changing personnel as well. We know Chiefs used to be strong with wingers. We need to be strong with wingers, and our attacking play was one of the best all these years. Kaizer Chiefs' attacking play was one of the best. And then now coaches come in, now they change. They change the way of play, they change personnel, they change the way of how things need to be conducted. Us as senior players or other players, we also try and keep a certain way of how things need to be done. You know, in order of respecting the badge. You know, there's a lot of things where I feel like we could have kept and not lose much. It would have still kept us. It would still kept Kaizer Chiefs in a stable way.
Environment.
In a stable way, in an environment. The Chiefs' immediate neighbors, who is Orlando Pirates. You know, Orlando Pirates keeps that flair of theirs, their culture, that flair of theirs. We know from the likes of Abo Laki, you know, they had versatile fullbacks. They had speedy wingers. They had creative midfielders, you know, and goal scorers as well. So they have found their feet again in terms of what is the Orlando Pirates way. And I don't know what happens there in their camp as well, but the core values as well needed to
look like they're strong.
Looks like they're strong with the core values as well. So and that brings them success. You can see there's a great workmanship amongst them as well. You know, if you slip, you lose your place, somebody else takes over. And they've got good depth as well on their bench as well. So they've really bought well. They've really built well as well, and you can see the fruits now as well. With Kaizer Chiefs being the most popular team in the country, it's not easy, you know, to keep all those things together, because you got pressure from the fans. You get pressure from the
sponsors,
top sponsors, the analysts, you know, this and that. So now with all that pressure, you're trying to satisfy everyone.
Other people.
Other people. If the fans say now we want Bruce Vuma in the goal. You know, we want Bruce Vuma to play. We want him to play. Then the next thing, Chiefs reacts. Then they put Vuma in the goal until Vuma makes a mistake.
Then he's out again.
When he makes a mistake, the fans say, "No, we don't want him anymore. You know, we don't want him anymore. He's not being protected now from the club. We don't want him." Then now you try somebody else. You know, so now cycle continues. I'm just making an example with the goalkeeping department. It's the same with the infield players as well. With strikers over the years, you know, if you just miss 2-3 goals, you know, then the pressure's already there. You know, you need to be changed. Somebody else now must come in. So it destabilizes the consistency in the team. So there's a lot of factors that comes into play. There's a lot of things that comes into play. And we also tried it with the national team as well. We all tried it with the national team as well. We said, no, this one deserves to be national, that one deserves to be. But Hugo Broos put his foot down. You know, he put his foot down. He says, I stick to what I believe. And if I don't get supported, then I might as well go back to my country.
Look what he's done.
You know, and I'm glad that Safa backed him. Safa backed him. They believed in what he wants to achieve and what the plan is. And look, now we have made progress. We have made progress. You know,
those scenes in Free State the other week to see. We've been complaining for some time that they've actually been playing good football for almost 2 years now. But like they didn't get the support. Let's say in Gauteng. But the Free State, what we saw, I mean, national team being it's amazing, and I hope amazing. I mean they deserve that because they've been really consistent. And we hope that it goes from strength to strength. But it's such an important point to say. Hugo Broos has been backed, and now the fruits are showing.
Yes. So also with players, I don't blame players because players are just there to play. You know, and players, all for players to perform is to get the best out of them as well. So big ups and head off for coaches who try to get the best out of players. But then if there is a constant change within season in, season out, and not built on what needs to be built on, it actually makes the process longer. So to speed up the process, you know, believe in what you have. Believe in the culture, in what is our way. You know, believe in what we do best. You know, and back the coaches or back the players. Also, I don't know how to put this now in a way. At the same time, you know, protect the players in a way to the public as well, you know, so that the players feel like they've been protected, they are being protected, you know. So next week I can go again full force, you know, in that kind of way as well.
I like that.
You know, us as who has played for Chiefs before, and then other legends as well, we talk, you know, and we feel the pain, you know, and we also have our different points, as I'm saying now, my point of view as well. But is it the right way? I don't know. You know, and if Chiefs can find the right way, and back the coaches and back the players, you know, and believe in what we want to achieve in the near future. And it's a process as well. Football is a process, you know. Look when Pitso came in, he was booed as well, and he was the fans wanted him out, you know, when he came to Sundowns, and he got backed. He got backed within with the vision, you know, and now he's been one of the most successful Sundowns coaches, and South African as well. And on Kaizer Chiefs' end, you know, there hasn't been patience. There hasn't been patience. It was change, stop, start, change, stop, start, change for the past 10 years, you know, and the fans are not being fair on some coaches as well, you know. Threatening coaches, you know, when they walk out, they've been throwing stuff at them, you know, and that really knocks the players' confidence as well. Now I am scared to go out
and express myself.
You know, I can't now even go to the mall anymore because, you know, there's a lot of stuff.
Must order now,
you know.
Uber Eats.
ASM. Now you order too much Uber Eats. Next time you come heavy in training.
I want to ask you,
know,
with you said an important point, especially in the big clubs. You can get a coach coming from Spain. You can get a coach, I mean, Victor Ponderenko for Pirates. You know, coming from all parts of the world. But you mentioned such an important part that Chiefs has a way that it likes to play football, and Pirates has a way it likes to play. And obviously, you hope that outside of a coach, there's a technical person, either a sporting director or director
that understands
that keeps that philosophy, including when you are bringing a coach, that the coach understands that there's certain things. But in terms of a senior player, when you're a senior player and a new coach comes, was there any conversations that you thought maybe let's have a chat with the coach to understand how he's trying to play, so that we also can share with him in terms of what maybe he doesn't know about Chiefs from a player's point of view?
South Africa locally, sadly, there isn't something like that. What I have experienced. In Europe, I've experienced that. Even when I was a young player, I experienced that. Whereas the coach has the senior players and probably the regular players, you know, sharing the same message down to us youngsters, you know, in terms of what standards to keep. And locally, by us, when a coach comes, and he just says, okay, this is how we're gonna play, and this is the way we play, and then we just have to fall into it. But there's no type of understanding why we're playing this type of way, what we're looking for in terms of the principles, you know, and the fundamentals, you know. It's just we're gonna play now like this. This is the formation. Just make sure you at the best you can be in your role. You know. So maybe it's because coaches are also under pressure. They want immediate. They want to make an immediate impact as well, or trying to have immediate success as well. So I haven't experienced such in terms of why are we gonna go in this way, in this certain way, and what is expected in this certain way. I haven't experienced that as well. But what I have experienced is that, and what I've seen is that the top clubs in Europe, in world football, why can't we learn from there? Because they do it week in, week out at that level, and we can also do it. You know, we are human, they are human. You know, we've got 2 feet, they've got 2 feet. We are human. So we can also maintain those standards if we do it the right way, according to according to what we have. According to our South African culture and flair, you know. Real Madrid changes coaches
every time.
Do they change their identity?
No.
Do they change their way of play? Whatever. All these years. But what do they have all these years? Success.
Yeah.
You know, the likes of your Manchester City, Liverpool. You know, you're just mentioning those top clubs, Barcelona as well. Before Xavi, you know, there was
Luis
Enrique. You know, but you know, Barcelona has got this identity. You know, they do it. And then when they profile players and sign players, it's according to the Barcelona system. Same with Real Madrid. They profile and identify players according to the system. And then when we have it here at home, we see a player has become now player of the season here at home, and then the fans make noise, people make noise about him. And then we say no, he needs to come to Chiefs. Then you sign him, but does he fit the profile?
Yes.
You know, does he fit the profile? And then that same player who was player of the season, 2 months later, we say now the player is useless. 2 months later, we're saying the player cannot go useless overnight.
Exactly.
He cannot go useless overnight. So those are also the types of things I see in my way. You know, player profile. You know, what I've learned now here at Galaxy is that we profile players according to what is best for our system. You know, not only on a football perspective as well, but a human being factor as well. You know, because football is a human spirit, a game with human spirit as well. So profiling and identifying is very, very important according to what we want. By carrying on the strain, by carrying on with the strain that we on. So, as I said also earlier on, is that through the backup, through the support, and through the belief, you know, it eventually will hit the right notes, and then we will have the music that we want.
I know you've on the clock a little bit here. You need to get to training. Kleenex project. What is that about? I know it's threatened health and care and all of this stuff, but you are the one that knows it. What is this Kleenex project about?
You know, Kleenex is doing a great job. Kleenex is more about health, mental health, also physical health, and Kleenex believe that this project that they're doing, you know, is by saving a lot of our people in terms of taking care of their health, you know, and taking care of your health mentally and physically is really the best thing you can do, by saving yourself, saving your family, and saving your community. And it's been a big challenge in our communities with drugs, with violence, with depression, suicides, pressure, you know, as well, you know, especially on the male part. And on the male part, we have seen that us as males, we go through a lot, in terms of the pressures of providing, the pressures of also trying to live your own life and be yourself. And then when the pressure gets too much, you resort to other things. And clinics is doing a great thing. You know, the facility that's up in the south of Joburg, where there's the center. You know what the center is doing. They're doing a real great job in the overall rebuilding the human being. You know, is so phenomenal. So what clinics now wants to do is trying to reach out more, in trying to save as much people who go through a lot. And we know that drugs destroys lives, it destroys families. And us as ambassadors, myself, Posha Mudise, and Luvo, you know, we also know that Luvo is is a living testament, you know, by going through some similar project as well, it's just for us to give inspiration as ambassadors, you know. With myself, I'm a freak of health, you know. I own a wellness center as well, you know, and the best investment you can do is in yourself. And by doing the best investment in yourself, whether you have money or you don't have money, by doing the best investment of yourself is the greatest riches you can achieve. You know, they say health is wealth. You know, so I'm happy to be one of the ambassadors for clinics, because we do share the same values, the mindset as well, by making a difference in people's lives. And clinics is doing a great job, and we hope through this campaign we get to reach a lot more out there, you know. So it's exciting, and I'm happy to be part of this project.
A final one for me, and we can't let you go without asking this question. I mean, when you broke your leg, the overwhelming sentiment around the media was like, Deontay's career is finished. That's over. He'll never come back from this. It was such a horrific injury. And you came back, I think, in April, just before the season ended.
In April.
For TS Galaxy. How difficult was that period for you, knowing that you had like such a horrific injury where, you know, it could have ended your career pretty much?
Nothing happened to my leg, huh?
You want this back?
Just a scratch.
Just a scratch. Yeah. But then you know, it didn't affect me. It broke me. It broke me physically, but it didn't break my spirit. You know, and I enjoyed the journey. I enjoyed the recovery journey. It was a horrific injury, and I think maybe the sportsman I am. When after the injury immediately happened, I got stretched off, and when I got stretched off, I applauded the crowd. You know, I already psyched myself positive already by leaving the field, and I think that was the first step of me recovering quick in my journey. And through this journey, you know, immediately I said to myself, I won't give the devil a chance. You know, a lot of things going through my mind, you know, this, that, and I said, no, I'm gonna continue with my normal daily routine. Wake up with my crutches, you know, go and swim, do whatever needs to be done in my normal routine, in keeping the body active. So I did that immediately.
Did you think of retiring though?
I didn't. My first thing was saying, get back to the field. Get back to the field, because I still feel like I'm strong. You know, I still have a lot to offer. Get back to the field. So then I immediately got back onto the horse with my daily routine. You know, my wife was complaining, said, you never sit still, you never sit still. I said I can't sit still. You know, I have to make sure that I do the best I can, and I thank the chairman for making sure that I get the best
medical assistance,
surgeon as well, the medical assistants. And afterwards, when I now had to do physio, I paid for my extra physio. Although I was getting physio at the club, I paid for my extra physio. You know, the people that I've worked with before as well, I did that as well. So I made sure that I get during my recovery time, I get a full day of myself, investing in myself. You know, so I did that. And then I also revisited my studies as well, because I paused a little bit. I'm in my third year of sports psychology and life coaching. So I made sure that I revisit my studies as well.
Yeah.
And I think just by being happy, being happy of myself, just by having a positive spirit, just by making sure that I feed myself with positive visuals, you know, motivation in YouTube, you know, watch a lot of football, you know, doing what I love doing, which is the sport, going to training, or on my crutches going to training, being around the boys, the environment, being around the boys. That actually made me want to come back faster, and I did, I did. So week in, week out. So it was train, exercise, recover, train, exercise, recover, treatment, train, exercise, recover, treatment. And exactly 6 months later, I came back against the same team. I broke my leg. I came back.
You played Sundowns.
I played Sundowns, yes. And I came back, and then I played. And then I played, and then after I played, I was just so happy that I didn't feel any emotions. You know, as a player, you get emotions. You get butterflies in your stomach, or you doubt a little bit. But I was just excited and happy to go in, and I played
like a kid again,
like a kid again. And then through this journey, I also, you know, like to thank the people that played a big part. You know, as I said, the club, my family, and also my extended family as well played a big part. Also with my book as well, and then I also got more time now to do more activations on my book as well. You know, being on the ground.
Why did you bring it?
We need to add.
We need to add to this.
It's in the car.
Oh, okay, perfect. We'll get it afterwards. Perfect.
Yeah, so I made sure that I get also the book to reach out to more hands as it could, because I believe that I need to be on the ground level and inspire people as much as I can as well, and not only not let the book be in a bookstore and wait for people to buy it, but for me to be on the ground level and share inspiration and get touched by those who wants their dreams to come alive as well. So this recovery journey has been the highlight of my life. Just because I made the best out of it. And I hope that a lot out there in terms of football and sport in general, you know, can get to learn about this, that, you know, anything is possible if you just put your mind to it. You know.
Did you speak to Bongani at any point?
Not at all. You know, he DM'd me straight after the game. He DM'd me. I was still in hospital. And when I was in hospital, I see my messages. My phone was just going crazy. I had over 1,000 WhatsApps. You know, when you open the WhatsApp, that icon on top of the WhatsApp just says 99 plus. In the space of an hour, so much messages, you know. And then I scrolled through the messages just to like reply to the important people, and I did. And then I went on Instagram, and then I also got a lot of inboxes as well, DMs. And then I scrolled and I saw, oh, Bongani's here. I replied immediately to him, and I said to him, no, you are forgiven. He said he just hoped that it's not serious, and he asked to be forgiven. And I said, no, you are forgiven. But what pains me is the guy didn't even say thumbs up or a heart or anything. It was just red. It was just red immediately, and that pains and it pained me. So I left it like that, and then even when I got out of hospital, I never got flowers in hospital from Sundowns themselves. Never got a call from Sundowns, nothing. Only my good friend called me, which is Peter Ndlovu. I played with Peter Ndlovu when I was at Thunder United, Thunder Royal FC. So we've been friends all these years. So only Peter called me. I got no call from Sundowns, no call from Zungu. Even when I was at home, I got nothing, no call, no nothing, even when I was out of hospital. And then one day, I just got a delivery of flowers at home. I don't know how they got my address. But how can you look for my address, but you
said nothing to me.
You can't call me. You have my number. You can look for my number. I'm friends with Riyad Peterson. I'm friends with a lot of players. It's announced. They have my number. Could have called me. Anyone could have called me. Anyone could have at least say something in a text message or something. But nothing was done. And I tried to reach back out to Bongani, because my good friend, life coach, Mr. Charlie Peterson, said to me, you know, for you to be healed completely, now la papagati. You need to go touch the hand of the person who did it to you. So then I DM'd him back again. So when I DM'd him back again, I was like, I don't see this guy. It just says what user. User, Instagram user.
Instagram user.
So I'm like, did this guy block me or what? You know. Then I went back to in my inbox and typed in Bongani so I can see where he wasn't there. So I was like, okay, what did I do? What did I do? So I'm trying to think back. Maybe back in the day, did I do something or what? Whatever. Says no, man. I don't
can't
recall
think of anything.
Or anything of nothing, you know, because I would have known. So then Mr. Charlie Peterson said to me, no, you need to go physically. So I tried to reach out in that way, but I was just thinking to myself, why am I...
You're the one who's doing the work.
Yes, why am I doing the work? Why am I now going to be out now being desperate and trying to beg people, you know, beg people to come and...
you didn't do this to yourself.
You know, yes. So then I just think myself, saying pray for myself and pray for him, and hope that he would be okay. And then as time went on, you know, Coach Rulani was on TV on some podcast as well. I don't remember, was it with Andile or so? And then and Coach Rulani said he called me, and he was asked, did you call Parker? He said yes, he called me, which he never did. He never called me. Then I got a message from Mr. Peterson saying that Rulani messaged Mr. Peterson saying to him, Mr. Peterson, please send my regards to Parker. Okay, but why don't you ask my number from Mr. Peterson and call me? But now on a public platform, you said you did call me, which you never did. Okay, if you did call me, because I also received a lot of calls, a lot of messages. You know, one of those messages which I went through, you know, or you could have just said, "It's me,
Rulani.
Coach Rulani. I tried to call you. Please get back to me." Something like that. But I didn't get anything of some sort. So so it just shows you how cruel this game is, you know. And us here at the bottom, we'll keep fighting the good fight here at the bottom.
At the bottom. You're never at the bottom.
You'll never be at the bottom. You've done way too much to be at the bottom.
We keep fighting the good fight. As I said earlier on in this beautiful podcast, I said football is a human spirit. It's a game of human spirit. So I'm in touch with the human spirit, and what you give to the game will give back to you. And I love this game with all my heart, and I love the people within the game, because people work hard in this game. We all work hard in this game, you know, for the best of the game. So so that's that. And there was another story even following afterwards when I got back against Sundowns. And then Monchai, Bobo Monchai, he had a late tackle on Zungu. Zungu came in as a sub, he had a late tackle on Zungu. And then there was talk that, you know, we planned. No, that was never planned. That was never planned. You know, we were preparing how we always prepare for a game. And we said, now this time around, after our game against Loftus, where we lost 3-0, this time around we want to beat them. So that was just a normal talk. There wasn't any talk of who to malicious harm who, or who to be malicious to who, you know. And then there was just talk in the public that no, this is what happened, which is not true. Which is not true. We are honest team. We are honest amongst each other. That was not true. And if that was true, you know, you would have probably, how can I say, it would have been an ugly game.
Yeah.
Because if that was true, all the players' emotions were triggered to say, you know, we have to be violent with everybody, you know. So the game wasn't even a violent game. It was just that late tackle that happened. And maybe it was a publicity stunt, I don't know, because he was just out for 2 games, and then the next after that he came back and played like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know, in this league of ours, in this game of ours, I don't know what do we need to do in terms of improving the game.
Yeah.
But all I can say for us to improve in the game is to support each other. You know, to uplift each other, push each other, motivate each other as brothers. So just in order for the best of the game, and also respect each other's jobs. Respect each other's jobs. As I'm saying, we all work so hard and we all do so much and invest so much for us to make something out of ourselves in this game. So if we can support each other and respect each other,
we should be good.
We should be good.
Yeah, I mean, it's hell of important, and do hope and it is a career, because some people see professional sport. This is not a side gig. It's someone's career. On a positive note to finish with, I want you to give us your 5-a-side team. If you had to rock up there across the road, we had the Deepwell one. It's Discovery right across the road.
Who would you play with?
Who would you bring alongside with you?
Yo, hey, after this interview, I'll be like, how? Unfortunately,
you can't pick everyone. You can't give us your 5.
People will always know that you can't pick everyone.
Yeah. Okay,
it's yours as well. They can have their opinions.
They can have their own.
Give us your opinions and your own, but this is 5-a-side team.
All right, locally or
it could be anywhere.
People that anyone.
I mean, you played at 20, you played at Belgrade, you
people I played with, or just in general. Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe.
Okay, let's
start with people you played with.
Let's play with people we played.
Okay, hey son. Itumelengkune.
Okay.
I've played with a lot of goalkeepers. Itumelengkune is just. I just hope he would have went early to Europe.
Yes.
Let's reverse the ends of time. Tepo Masilela.
Okay.
July Mahlangu.
Oh, okay.
Sponiso Gatka.
Nice.
Letsuleane.
Yeah.
Is it 5 already?
That's 5.
Yeah.
You've left yourself out here, by the way. You need to fit yourself in here.
Player coach.
Yes, I'll be the player coach.
Okay, you'll be the sub.
I'll be the sub player coach.
Person.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry for those I left out.
No, so
I'll put you in the 11 in the next interview.
Okay, final one. The best player that you ever played with, and this needs to be one person.
Yes.
Yeah. Best player that Bernard Parker ever played with throughout his career, starting from Benoni United all the way to Twente, Belgrade, Tanda Royal Zulu, the Greek club. What did you say?
Panzerikos.
Kaiser Chiefs, TS Galaxy.
Played with. I would say Benni McCarthy.
Okay.
I would say Benni McCarthy. Yeah. The best, you know. I learned the finishing also from him as well. The best. Yeah. Yes, his natural talent it's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. He's be the number one. Yeah. He'll be number one. Yes, and there's quite a few also that I've played with, but I would say he's number one.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Bernard Parker, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Bernard Parker, before we wrap it up, Kleenex, anywhere where people can reach out to Kleenex to further sort of support the initiative?
Yes, please. If we can follow Kleenex on the platforms, on social media platforms, you just type in Kleenex, it will come up there. Also on my platform, you'll find the good work we do with Kleenex. Posha Modi says, Luvos as well. So please, guys, look out for it. There's a lot of interesting things that clinics are doing. And if you love yourself, you do look up for clinics.
Fantastic. I'll be the first one to look up clinics. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. I know you got a rush to training now. All the best for yet another season in the top flight. 38.
Season what? Number what?
Season what now?
21.
Season 21.
Yes.
At 38 years old, Bernard Parker is entering season 21 with TS Galaxy. All the best for that. We wish you all the best. And hopefully more goals do come from the boot of Bernard Parker.
Thank you.
Thank you.
End it on this
we'll end it here. But also please like, subscribe, and of course follow us at All Round, as they say, on all platforms, X, Instagram, and of course YouTube is where we will find us. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.